Now, it's no secret that Fate is in my top 10 anime of all time, and I really don't care how you feel about it. So when Fate's Strange Fate dropped, oh, I was sad. I was sad, baby. But this one is different. It's not in Fuyuki. It's in Snowfield, Nevada. America said, child, we gonna have our own Holy Grail War. And it was downhill from there. If you're new here, the Fate series revolves around the Holy Grail War, where mages summon legendary heroes called servants and fight for the Grail, which has the power to grant any wish. Simple, right? Except it's never that simple. And this time, it's all fake. The title itself tells you everything. Fake, strange. These two words explain everything that's happening in Snowfield, and they're also the clues I'm going to use to tell you what's happening in this war. This show is still airing while I'm filming this, so this is just where I stand right now on my opinion of the show. Up first, we have fake. So yes, this Holy Grail War is fake. It's all a scheme that Todd set up. A US organization recreated the Fuyuki system using stolen data and decided to host their own version in Snowfield, Nevada. But because it's a copied ritual, it's flawed. The summoning system isn't stable, and really the whole thing feels like a bootleg version. Y'all remember when we used to buy bootlegs out of somebody's trunk? Yeah, that's what this is. There are also only 6 master servant pairs instead of 7 because Saber is excluded. We'll come back to this. But that's what makes it so interesting. No, really, the powers that be are actually hosting a fake Holy Grail War as a catalyst to start the real Holy Grail War. And that's how we ended up getting a Saber after all. That little hippity hop did have me a little confused, so it took a rewatch and really focusing in to understand what was going on. So now we have way more masters, way more servants, and way more moving pieces than usual. And somehow Gilgamesh still found his way here. I guess he's gonna keep popping up in these wars so he gets him a dub. I really think Gilgamesh just be sitting there waiting like, ooh, are they finna start the war? And he just push whoever in front of him out the way. He gonna make sure he gets summoned every time. Now, I did like the concept of a fake war being used to start a real one. I thought that was pretty cool. That was actually pretty neat. I was like, oh, okay, so some people got some secret stuff going on. Now, the second clue is strange, and there's a lot of strange stuff going on. Beyond the war being fake, everything about this entry just like something just, you can't put your finger on it, but something just off. Mystery servants, incapacitated masters, the mafia, macabre stories, lots of stuff. And there's several things that we have to process and unpack, but we don't always have time to do it. They moving on to the next thing. You know, and the episodes just aren't quite long enough. We just need a few more minutes. The most peculiar characters to me are Ayaka Sajo because of her ominous backstory, and Sigma's servant because the mystery surrounding that reveal, I know it's not accidental. I know they up to something big. They are building us up to it. Jack the Ripper is summoned as a servant from the Berserker class, which is interesting because you would think based on his historical figure that he would have been an assassin, but nope, he's a berserker. Like I said, there's a lot of odd things going on, and it can be hard to keep up with, so make sure you're locked in if you're watching this one. This is not a passive watch. This particular series isn't just focused on the war either. There's a different angle with people going against mages and doing some behind the scenes reconnaissance. Now, one thing about it and two things for sure. This does not feel like a normal Holy Grail War, which I don't know that a war could ever feel normal, but it feels like something is slightly misaligned, and in Fate, misalignment usually means disaster. Now, I always do my dislikes first because I like to end on a high note. So what I don't like is what they did to Heracles, or Hercules, whichever one you want to call him. I am going to leave it at that as to not spoil the show, but I hated it because his mythology is so powerful and so legendary, but he was summoned by a mobster, and I guess that's just how the chips fell. Another dislike is too much going on. It is challenging to keep up with who's in the real war, who's in the fake one, and who's going against them all together. I do think that's something that will get better over time though, so I'm not too mad about that. The art style is a little too pencil-y. Blend them damn lines out. The animation has me on the fence, and y'all know I don't really bring it up unless it's really, really good or really, really bad, but nothing beats Fate Zero. You know, with this one, I felt like some of the effort that they're putting into animating the fights should have also been used in other scenes. Now, as for what I like, none of those 3 measly dislikes is enough to put a damper on the show for me. Y'all know how much I love Fate. It is up there with Sailor Moon. We still got a Saber as part of the true Holy Grail War, and I love him, okay? I love him. That speech he gave his master, you know, when she was crying about, you know, feeling like she wasn't really a good person, it moved me. Now, I really don't know why they were talking all that nonsense in the middle of a battlefield, but hey, if it works, it works. But he was so commanding. ending, and it was just like, I'm on your side now for real. And there are very, very, very strong women in this series. Now, it's still a couple who need to get their footing, but so many of them are already strong out of the gate, and I love that for them. Be it servant, be it master, or otherwise, they have been phenomenal. Gilgamesh ain't got nothing better to do than join the Holy Grail War. I swear to God, I had to mention that again as a like. He be pushing other archers out the way. I just know it. He be right there at the door waiting to get summoned. I know it, I know it, I know it. But I love seeing him, honestly. No matter how much he ticks me off, no matter how much he's on the wrong side, I love him. There's a few other things that tickled me, like an old man getting food from the very beginning. We always hate to see that. And there's always a wrench in the plans. And this time there's a dead apostle trying to shake things up. Now, I'm gonna leave it to you to watch the show to figure out what that means and who it is, but you should definitely check it out. I am going to revisit this particular Fate entry after the show ends to break down the members of both the real and the fake Holy Grail Wars. But for now, I just wanted to kind of talk about where I stand in my opinion of the show and just kind of give you some insight to what's going on. You're also in for a special treat later this week when I put together the different routes of the Fate series and connect all of the different timelines that you could possibly have into one cohesive video. Or at least I hope it ends up being cohesive, but y'all gonna let me know if it's not. More people need to hear about this though, so come back, make sure you come back on Friday and tune in. Now here's what I need from you right now. If this Grail War is flawed by design, then somebody designed it that way. So the real question to me isn't who wins, it's who's in control. So who do you think is the real enemy in Fate Strange Fake? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did not, I'm so sorry. Please give me a chance on the next one. I'll be back. But in the meantime, check out this video on the deadliest Fate Master. And if you're lost on who masters and servants are, I have something for that too. So please go check those out and don't forget to subscribe. When one arc ends, another one begins. See you next time.